So this is a pool that has been modeled in SOLIDWORKS. This is a Grecian with mitered corners. You can see it's a fairly standard design. You can have any kind of design you want. For example, if you wanted to have a different hopper shape, or if you wanted to have a two-slope, a pool with two slopes down from the shallow end to the deep end. If you wanted to model in the safety ledge, all of those things can be done, and they can be done very easily. I will say that what we're working here with is a template. So there's a process for creating a template, and then there's a process for adapting it. If you're creating a template, models like this, they would be, depending on your skills with SOLIDWORKS, you could model them in anywhere from 5 to 15, maybe 30 minutes on the absolute maximum side of things. But generally speaking, a very competent SOLIDWORKS designer would create a model like this in about 5 minutes. But once the model's created, you don't have to really know the modeling process. You can just dimension your pool. And so you can see we've got a little form here. And while this pool itself is a 20-foot by 40-foot pool, we're going to go ahead and change the dimensions here by just literally typing in values. So we could change this to 434, which would be a 36-foot. We'll change this one here, this 240 to say 216, which will be a 18-foot. And we'll change the depth of the hopper from, say, 8 feet, which is 96 inches, to, say, for example, 84 inches, which would be 7 feet. And you can see the dimensions are changing as we make that update. So that's pretty simple. We're not going to accept these changes. We're just going to go ahead and cancel out of here. And we're going to go back to our 20 to 40 foot, so you can see how quickly it is to change from one to the other. And, for example, if you wanted to make that data entry part of what your customer interaction process is. You do have customers who are looking at automating that by putting a web form up, and the web form would post to an Excel spreadsheet. The Excel spreadsheet would come in and all that front-end process, which is repeated over the number of pool liners that you create in a season, would be automated.